What's up, everybody? It's a little later than I did the other day, but we're gonna get to it. I was exhausted. The word that we are tapping into today is travel. Now, I'm not gonna do like heavy definitions about these words, but just to remind you guys of what it is. So, travel. We all know going from place to place. We like the vacation. We like to travel. The distance between something. You carry things. What do you do when you travel? You carry. Also, when you're playing a sport, you travel. Basketball. But what are you doing? You're holding something. That's what a travel is. When you are traveling, you have to take what? Baggage, luggage. When you're traveling, sometimes some people take their emotions. They try to get rid of some people travel so they can be relieved from something that was in the space that they left. Okay? So with that being said, we're going to start with what I have put into a perspective of traveling is in mathematics, we have the term of long division and short division. Long division, division itself is the action of separating something into parts or the process of being separated, which could be a disagreement. We have the ones who are in the side of agreeing and being in disagreements. You have to where you can transfer different information into different levels. So, for instance, on long division, I believe that when you are doing long division, you have different sets. So you have the first part of the division, and then I don't think is it a sum? Hold on. Why is this still up there? But then you have to carry on the next couple of numbers to get another answer, and then you get what? Decimals. Decimals are not real numbers. They're actually they're points. They're points from point A to point B. So then you're traveling, and you get all of these numbers. So say if I get 5.1.222222223. That's a whole nother different destination. And if you think about it, you've just been into different, not divisions, but dimensions. So when you're going backwards and you're ascending, you call that addition. So when you're dividing, you're not ascending. You're picking things apart. And you're setting them in different spaces. So what I said communication goes a long way to move with or without energy. And what we have is in the mind before we became infiltrated with all of these worldly things, the way that we naturally communicated, was through telepathic rays, right? And that's before thought and without thought. So telepathy fills in spaces that cannot be verbally conveyed. And when we're not able to physically move or change a situation, we transfer our energy to something that can shift our minds, which is our modes, which is our ranges. What I said last week, we were talking about the act of something. This goes into the same thing. The mode and the range, because we have emotions. We have different shifts. We have different patterns that we may have about certain things. We have happy, sad, annoyed, angered, which is two different things. When we're when we really start breaking it down, we do have different effects about different people. Different people make us feel different ways, and some things make us change when we're going through these motions, when we're dividing. What's up, brother? When we're dividing and we're going through division. So long division starts with one level of numbers with the simple sum, and then travel, when we travel those words or put them into another dimension or then another level, when we carry them down to get another answer, so we can get a solid number, which we never really actually do. They become points, right? Decimals. And that's one in its own. Nothing just giving a lecture, man, about certain words. That, just bringing the light. So travel. So basically, another way that they spelled travel was TRAVEIL, which is to be available and have the ability to move freely, whether if it's one or two parts within your brain. So you can use one side of your brain. You can travel and go, which is like, oh yeah, I just blanked out for a little bit, or I stared out to space. That means that you traveled into something else different, whether you know it or not. Just because your physical did not move does not mean that your mind and your soul did not move into a different dimension. You can daydream, that's traveling. You can astral project, that's traveling. So if we understand that, our brain has certain neurons that controls our mobility. Moving our arm is traveling. Moving different limbs in our bodies is traveling. And the way that I really the reason why this word became heavy this week is because we don't realize that we travel our emotions and our energy into different spaces, and we don't know that it can affect others around us. Say if I have a negative vibe about me, and then I go take a car ride and I go into a space where there's a lot of happy and energetic people, and I bring, and I travel and I bring my whole vibe with me. I can kill a vibe. I can kill that space and time and ruin it for everybody, because then I've poisoned that whole atmosphere. You know how when you put one grape, when you go buy some fruit from the store and it looks all fresh, it looks all good, and then you take it out of its environment and then you put it into the refrigerator, and then when one fruit or one berry or one something gets spoiled, what does it do? That energy travels and contaminates that, that bunch. If you have something rotten in your refrigerator, it can contaminate other things like the atmosphere, the air. And this goes into, I don't want to talk about that, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like when you get that thing, it becomes, you start to contaminate others, and everybody else starts to get sick. And you don't really start noticing until you're around them long enough. But then also, if you were to travel with that same energy, say if you were to move, if you be like, oh, I'm about to uproot and move to, blah, 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 blah. But the place that you was living in, there was no good energy. You could never succeed. You never really got anywhere. You couldn't keep a job, you couldn't keep a home, or you couldn't keep a man, or you couldn't keep your kids in one school, or however you want to go with it. If you try to travel and have that same mindset and don't step back and at least try to fix a little bit about what's going on, your situation, then you will not be able to move forward. You can go to another state and travel to another state, but you will take that same energy. I firmly believe when you move and when you travel, especially if you're relocating, get rid of as much stuff as you can. Hello, guys. Peace. Get rid of as much stuff as you can, because things carries energy. And when you travel, you have to be mindful of what you bring with you. You know, there's so many different songs about baggage and luggage and traveling. If you really think about the basketball player that travels, what are they doing? They're carrying the luggage and they're walking with it. They're not letting it go. They're not letting it breathe. They're not leaving it where it's, where it came from. And most of all, they're not passing the ball, or they're not shooting the ball. So they're not letting go of that energy. So, you have to be intentional and be aware of your emotions, your emotions, your value of how you move around, and how you move your energy and travel your energy, because you can focus on one thing and then your intention can be something else. But if you don't put your energy and you don't travel your energy into exactly what your intentions are, is like when you want to move around, or if you want to elevate, if you want to be a rapper, if you want to be the next big actress or the next big makeup artist, it's not really going to happen, because your energy, your intentions are not there. You can move physical all the time, but if you have not really put yourself there through telepathically reminding and remaining yourself in those positive energies, it ain't gonna work out. Positive people only come around positive people, and that's because you've intended your energy towards positivity. If you're around negative all the time, then you're gonna travel towards negative people. You're gonna feel like you're gonna go to a new place and contaminate that place. You're going to always be the negative person around every time somebody got something positive to say, because you have not sat back and reflected on what it is that you need to help yourself with. Just because you up and move does not mean that you've changed your energy, your thought pattern. Everything is about intention. And if you don't learn how to, control your energy, you don't know how to control your energy, and put it in the right space, then I firmly believe that there won't be any type of good that will happen. What I've wrote is that you have to be fully intentional when you seek for your purpose. Travel to your wonders. And traveling to your wonders, it could be physical, it could be non-physical. You can dream. You could put yourself in that space before you get to that physical. Spiritually, you could put yourself there before you can get there physically. Be fruitful at the times nothing is being bared. When you see that there is no good soil around you, and I'm meaning not just like the ground or whatever, but the people. Do you see that your cousins or your family members doesn't have a real purpose in their life, and they're not traveling like you are mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and they're not composed, they're just all sporadic all the time? You have to be strong enough to put yourself in that space, so therefore you can elevate and divide yourself and make sure that you know that, oh no, I don't need to be here, I don't need to be here, this ain't working out, this ain't working out. Don't become emotionally so intact to where you become numb and you just around these people because you feel like you love them. You have to be intentional within your own and your grounds, your morals and your values, and travel wherever you want to go. You can even stay in the same space and still travel where you want to go. You know how people will be like, oh yeah, I want to go to Australia, Spain, Africa, you know, to these different South America, I'm sorry, or even to different states. Or even, not even that. Oh, and they want to ask questions. Oh, why this? Why that? Why this? You know, why this? You can literally sit back and meditate and put yourself in that space and in that place and get the answers. You can actually start feeling these things if you know how to place your intentions in the right way. Many times we don't have to go read a book. We don't have to go to another country to experience. Dreaming and having imagination has a really huge part in what we do and what we perceive our life to be. And if we don't keep that imagination, then how will we still be able to create the life that we really actually want? Because if not, then we just living like how everybody else wants us to. And that goes back to the first lecture of the word act. Now we're acting because we're not living in our truth. When we travel, we have to be in our truth. We have to be a sound of our emotions and be in control of the things that we want in our lives instead of worrying about what other people want or what somebody else think, you know, or oh, I want to go here, I want to go to Atlanta or Florida, but I want, you know, such and such to come with me, blah, 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 blah. You start planning a trip, and then you waiting on old girl or old boy to, you know, book their flight, and you done missed your window of opportunity because you was waiting on whoever to go out with you. But what's for you is for you. What's not for them is, you know, what's for them is not for, you know, not for them. What's for them is for them, is what's for you is what's for you. You can't depend on others to travel with you. You can't depend on others to control your emotions or, you know, be with you within your journey or create your destiny. You have to create that on your own. You have to continue to be open-minded within yourself, so therefore you can have the opportunity to change, to reevaluate, you know, and to be the better and the best you that you could ever be. And that's reaching the stage of actuality. Reality is living in a simulation, and living in actuality is being the most real to yourself. So it says, travel to your wonders and answer all of your desires. Be fruitful at the times nothing is being bared. Because, be cautious of where you place your energy and thoughts. And not only that, be mindful. Not only be mindful, but be careful. Travel is the ability travel is to be available. And it's also a privilege, because you know how, I know a lot of you guys have like aunties and uncles who's never been outside of California, never been outside of whatever state. They just never been outside of the state. But they become tranquilized by, oh, I ain't never been nowhere, or they drink or smoke too much, or they have this mental thing to where it's all about excuses. I'm like, yeah, I can't go there at my job, or I can't go there. I'm always, always something going on with my family. I can't go there because my grandma and my mama, and I'm worried about them too much. You have to really focus on your life and see what it is for you, because then you're going to miss a lot of opportunity that has been within your past. What's been said is what's been said. What's been done has been done. It's up to you to take action on these things that is for you. You have to remember, the book has already been written for you. It's just you that you have to remember your ultimate goals and travel to exactly what is for you. When people are all drunk and, smoked out and, have like these mental phases of not having the ability to be available to travel within that privilege, they get stuck. They stuck. They more than likely have like a negative mental. There's nothing really uplifting about them. It's just the same old thing over and over and over again. Or they always talking about not only themselves but somebody else. They always got somebody to talk about rather than talk about themselves, so they're not focused on them. Ultimately, we need to be more focused on ourselves. We need to be more available and open to exactly what it is that we want so we can travel. We can have an open mind. We don't want blockages anymore. We want to live in the now. We want to be present. And if we can't do that, we will not be able to foresee and see the things that we dreamed to be. We dream to want to see. If we can't visualize it and dream it and put ourselves there before it comes into the physical, which is manifestation, then more than likely you probably won't ever see it. You probably won't ever dream it, think it, feel it, taste it. You know how like you travel. This is another type. Well, when you travel your mind and you move your mind, you're like, ooh, that sounds good. Like you talking about like some good food. You're like, ooh, that sounds real good. Ooh, I can use some macaroni, some potatoes. Excuse me for all y'all vegans or whatever, but some beef, some stew, whatever you want. Like, ooh, I could sure go for some McDonald's or something. But you just put yourself in that space. You just traveled there to smell and taste it to where, ooh, that sound good. That was so appetizing to you. To where in the physical you drove, you then traveled again physically to go get that. Manifesting the things that you want is really important in life, especially, now. We are in the now. So now is the time to really start putting your attentions where they're supposed to be and travel. Go there. Go the distance. If you feel like it's for you, it's for you. Don't let no one who does not have great intentions and does not have the ability to travel and have an available mind hinder you from that. If that is the case, remove yourself from their vicinity. Change the way you may even want to change some things about you, because if those kind of people are gravitating towards you, not saying you can't help people, but you might want to, sit back and reevaluate your thoughts and how you travel your mind of what you want to be and do. If y'all want to tap in and got something to say or a rebuttal or, another insight about travel, but that is my word for today. I believe seek and you shall find is more real than what we will ever know. I saw this video about this young lady that I grew up with. They had did a video. They had did a balloon release, right? And it was more, I believe it's probably like more than 10 people that gathered, for her balloon release. And she has the phone up to the sky and she said, "We love you, baby," something, something, something. And her face popped up in the sky. If we don't know that manifesting right there is that real right now, is so prominent and is so real in that way, this really happened, you guys. If we don't know that really happened, that can happen, that we can manifest just that quick and just with that many intentions, start getting your family that are vibrating on the same energy that you are, so therefore you can manifest the things that are true to you and for you. Y'all, that happened in real time. That happened in real time. And if you don't believe things are happening in real time, again, you want to sit back and reevaluate, like, damn, why that's not happening to me? Because you need to sit back and really think about how you think. You need to sit back and think. You really need to sit back and reevaluate. Because if nothing's happening for you, you got blockages. You probably got a lot of negative energy around you. And you're not vibrating high enough. If you're around a lot of people always drinking and smoking, drinking and smoking and partying and, having bad bitches or fire dudes around you or niggas, whatever you want to call them, around you. That's all good and dandy, but there's no high vibration around that. It's a cool life. It's whatever you feel like is happy to you. But if it's not giving you any true purpose in answering your questions and giving you light in life, then you don't want it. You don't want it. So that is my word to you guys. Stay elevated. Travel your minds. Focus on what your script is. Don't implement yourself into somebody else's script if it does not involve you. That's how you harness energies that does not have anything to do with you. Okay? Take your time. Everything is not easy. But once you gain that intention, once you begin to travel your mind into the positive and into the things that you want in life, then you will begin to see that your life is for you. You have a good one. Peace. How you in this? Oh, hold on, wait. Somebody want to join? Hold on. Oh, okay, no. Okay, how do I end? Okay, let's see.